and welcome to the Evolve with Emily show YouTube channel. The best way to support the show on this YouTube channel is to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and or share it with a friend. I hope that you guys enjoy this episode, and whichever way you choose to support the show, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I hope that today's message and episode brings some bit of positive change to your life. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Evolve with Emily show. I am your host, Emily Hayden, and today I have a special guest with me, the most special guest. She's the one that is with me every single day. Jess, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah, I just really thought that you would add a lot to this podcast in particular, but also I just was feeling, I was like, I don't want to podcast alone today. Aww. I want my girl with me.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Of course. What do we have going on today?
So today we're going to talk about 3 tips to form better habits. But first, we actually have something very important that we want to talk about before we dive into that.
So you guys may or may not have seen, it made like worldwide news. There was a shooting in Houston and 3 Houston police officers were shot in the line of duty, and those names were released. So I did want to go ahead and read off those names. It was Officer N. Gadsden, he's 35, 4 years of service. Officer D. Hayden, 32, 3 years of service. And Officer A. Alvarez, 28, and 2 years of service. They all went through non-life-threatening gunshot wounds, and we are so thankful that they are okay. And I got a few questions about the Officer Hayden. Yeah, that is my brother. So that was really scary as somebody who has a loved one in the line of duty. Yes. I feel like you always kind of rehearse that call. And it was really terrifying getting that call because I actually thought that call was the call I had always imagined, which is always the worst case scenario. So I have to say that when I heard that he was shot and he was okay, it was actually a sense of relief.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's been, actually you can because you used to date an officer.
Right. He used to be a cop, and
yeah.
I'm glad that he's not, but I'm still so grateful for the police officers out there.
Your
brother.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like they are putting their literal lives on the line every single day that they go to work.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the rest of us who aren't in those kinds of environments in like the emergency personnel or military or line of duty like that, we can't even comprehend what that is like. No. So they're eating their breakfast with their loved ones, knowing full well that they're about to put themselves like in a very uncomfortable situation to say the very least. And you know, there's been a lot of press going around about this shooting. And I think, you know, the number one thing that we just want to say from the Evolve with Emily show and us here is like, thank you so much to every single man and woman that puts themselves in that situation, that loves their community so much that they protect it with their own lives. We need protection. We need law and order. And what you guys do is so incredibly valuable and needed. It should be protected. It should be cultivated. It should be flourished. So, you know, I know you guys have a lot coming against you, especially with just the climate of politics right now. But I want you to know there are people that love and support you and will go to battle for you. So thank you for going to battle for us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. And so with this happening, there's a group, and I don't remember exactly what they're called, but it's basically the Houston Police Family Support System. They created this link in order to donate to the officers. And basically, if you guys don't know, the officers rely, yes, on their paycheck, but they also rely on working extra jobs to support their children, their spouses, their family, their way of life. They like really rely on this. And I, as a family member, can speak because brother, I have not seen you in way too long. Like literally he's always working, and I'm so proud of him. Like he really has just done so much, and he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't elevate himself. He allows, you know, different experiences in his life and things, and whether it be like an award or something, to elevate him with him out not saying a word, which I just really respect a lot because he's just such a humble, good man. Like my brother, you know, he's been my best friend, right? Like growing up, he was my best friend. And now like, it's really cool to see him in his power of just being such a good, humble man, you know? And so it's really honorable what him and his other fellow officers have gone through. And in efforts to help contribute to them and help them get through this hard time of literally losing income. They don't have the ability to go to work. You know, my brother was shot in his firing arm, so he's not able to to draw and fire his pistol.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which arm it was. Okay.
And you know, the other guys were, I believe, shot in the leg and the foot, and they're unable to walk properly right now. So they literally cannot provide for themselves and their families the way that they always have been. So it's just really important right now that we as a community come together and support them any way that we can. So there is a link. I have placed it below. There's a financial goal of $20,000 that is going to go directly to those officers and split between them. So you have to realize they're missing out on income. They are having crazy medical bills right now. And also not just medical bills, but they're, you know, having to go to like physical therapy and do all these things to recover and get back to where they were at. And even like, imagine the mental, right? I hope that they are, you know, going to therapy, and it's just a lot. It's a lot on these men. So I hope that we as a community can come together. I hope if you guys feel compelled at all to donate even $1, $5, $10, you know, maybe that $10 is, you know, helping them with a meal for a night when they're just overwhelmed and stressed and whatever it is that's going on. Yeah. You know, like that could just mean so much to them.
Totally. I mean, you spend that much at Starbucks, so come on.
Right.
Like,
right.
Maybe give up your coffee for the day and donate to these officers that were shot protecting, you know, their city. So
yeah. So that link will be down below. I also really quickly just wanted to shout out some sponsors of mine. I know for me, when I do things or donate or do a good deed, so to speak, I don't talk about it. And I know that my sponsors are the same way, but I'm going to talk about them, you know, because here's what happened. When I told them what happened, they were first to be like, I am absolutely in this with you. Like, how can I support? What can I do? Yeah. So I just real quick shout out, Icon Meals is sending 3 full boxes of food to them. So at least they can cover like a week of meals or so. First Form is sending a whole care package. I don't even know what all's in it. I just know that they are filling it good. You know,
they're going to set them up.
Yeah, they are. And then Transcend, actually, which is like a newer sponsor of mine within the last year. Man, I sent one little text and they were like, just pedal to the metal. Like, we got this. Wow. You know, they really all stepped up to the plate and contributed what they could contribute. And again, I know they're not going to talk about it. So I just wanted to like publicly say thank you to them for putting their money where their mouth is. Yeah. You know, we have a lot of people that say do good things, or they only do good things when they can post about it. Right.
Right.
And I really appreciate when people just put their money where their mouth is and expect nothing in return. They expect no post. They expect no publicity. Like it's just between us.
Right.
Which I think is how it should be done.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you to those companies that stepped up. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And I just thank you guys so much if you choose to contribute to that. I think that, you know, they would really benefit and really appreciate it more than words can say. So hopefully, you know, you guys will click the link down below and donate.
Yes. Awesome.
What else do we got?
So onto a more lighthearted note, the show just hit 1 million downloads.
Woo! Yay!
Yes. I'm so happy and excited for you. We're actually over that now, so that's awesome. But how are you feeling?
Oh my gosh. So just happy because I've worked for that for so long. Yeah. The truth is I have friends and people who hit that within a year. And no matter what it's been in life, I don't know why, but like it's just always taken me longer. And I feel like I've had to really fight for like everything that I have. And I'm so thankful for that. And it's not to say that they don't, you know, but I do believe that when you have to go after something like for so long and so hard and put all your effort into it, it just makes it even more amazing. Yeah. It feels better when you reach it. Yeah. So to me, what that did was I posted on Instagram this song, Congratulations, right? But then the lyrics continue and it's like, look at me, I made it kind of thing. And I had to clarify. I was like, I hope people know that like, I don't think I made it at all.
Right.
To me, this actually is like, okay, now you have skin in the game. Right. Now you have a podcast. Yes. Now you're at day 1. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
Yeah. I'm like, perfect. Now we can start.
Right.
That's literally how I feel.
Yeah.
And also like that to me, the number, it just really represents that like what this podcast, the mission behind this podcast is to create positive life change.
Right.
And I think that that's what it's doing.
Absolutely. And I mean, you have listeners from all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you look, there's like a little map. And so you can hover over all the countries and it'll tell you like how many people are listening in that country. And that's like, that is so cool because it's everywhere. It's all over.
Yeah.
So you're literally changing lives around the world.
That's actually so cool. And
yeah.
so I want to shout out real quick. So the United States is #1 in downloads. That's pretty to be expected. I'm from the United States. But then we have Canada in a hard second. We have Australia, the United Kingdom, the Czech Republic. How do you say that properly? Czech Republic. Germany, Italy, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Costa Rica. We have more down there, but I just wanted to shout out those areas because I didn't realize, I guess, that I had so many listeners in that area.
Yeah.
Like, how cool would it be if I was like, hey guys, I'll be in Germany.
Right.
Like, everyone in Germany, you guys want to meet up?
Oh my gosh, that would be so dope. You should do that. Like, an Evolve tour.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Book tour. Yes. Should we talk about that?
Definitely.
I don't think I've I don't know if I announced it really.
I haven't seen you or heard you say anything about it.
So everybody's been asking me for years to write a book. And the truth is I've actually worked on a book for years. And it's whatever. It hasn't come out. I finally paired up with a publisher and the book is going to be releasing in 2022. And I have a goal, of course, you guys know me, I'm setting unrealistic goals. I'm setting the high goals. So I have a goal of it being pretty quickly here within 2022.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for it because I really feel like, my Revolvex program is my passion. It's what I love. It's also the most that I give anyone, right? So they have they have their coaches, they have accountability, they have everything available to them. It's like the highest form of evolving.
Right.
But I wanted a way to connect with people that aren't able to invest in themselves like that. So it's really heavy on my heart that I want everyone to be able to evolve.
Right.
And so I feel like this book is going to be the platform for them to do that.
Yeah.
And this book it might not be what people are expecting. This book isn't just my story. This book is actually all about helping you, the individual, evolve. So it's all practical tools, tips, exercises, journaling prompts. I have you rate certain things in order for you to become self-aware to where you're at, know which actions to take, and an actual plan of how to get there.
Awesome.
So it's like my Revolvex program inside of a book.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I've heard you on the phone with your publisher so much. So I know that you're making sure that this is, great and awesome for everybody. So I'm so excited. I will be buying it.
Aww.
And I will have your autograph.
Aw, thanks.
Hopefully. And yeah, I'm so excited for you. That's cool.
Thank you. And thank you for wanting to support. You're so sweet.
Of course.
And it's the best feeling because I remember the last time I was on the phone with my publisher, I was just so amped and I was like, I need this book in my hands.
Yeah.
I want to read this book.
Yeah.
I want to take these, assessments and,
yes,
and
I do too. I'm excited. Yeah.
It's going to be so good. And that's when you know that you're putting out just something that is in alignment with what you're meant to be putting out. Cause I could not be more amped for it. Yeah. And it's going to be so impactful. I cannot even imagine.
Oh, it is. It really is.
I'm so excited. This is the next level, the next thing. So
excited. So that's coming hopefully in the next couple of months?
Yes.
Okay.
So ideally I would like to have it around when I have my retreat.
Yes.
So I'm having a retreat in hopefully May. We'll announce the exact date once we have the location down, which we have a meeting on Friday.
Yes.
About.
I'm excited to see that
place.
That
hotel's cool, right?
It's so cool.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's
crossed.
it.
I know. I have a feeling that it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. So lots of things coming, Evolve community.
Yes. So many. And then speaking of, you are accepting new clients, right? Okay. So tell me about that and the next program that's happening.
Yeah. So we, as a coaching program, took January completely off, which everybody in the health and fitness space would be like, you're an idiot. Right? Everybody in January is the highest motivated that they ever are all year. Yeah. It's the #1 for sales, but here's the thing. My program must live out its core values, and its core values are evolving, right? Always getting better and doing what you need to do to become that next best version of yourself. So the program needed time off so that we could implement changes that we realized needed to be made. We always do this assessment at the end of the program and we ask our clients, hey, give us honest feedback. Yes. We believe in truth, in love, right?
Yes.
So what is your honest feedback? How could we make this program better? one of the number one responses was having videos for the exercises and having a different format of the training.
Oh, okay.
So one of the biggest changes we made is now we have an app, and within the app, it's like you go to this calendar day. So let's say that it's February 2nd, right? You go to February 2nd, and on that day, it has like this checklist, and the first one is your workout split. So it says glutes and hamstrings, and then you select glutes and hamstrings, and it has all your exercises there. You can put sets, reps, weight. It's really fun.
Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah. And then the other things can be things like nutritional habits that you want to track. Maybe you have a goal of 3 nutritious meals every day.
Okay.
And, you know, that's a very general goal, but each individual can kind of set different goals. Some people have a step goal, so we'll put in a step goal there. Some people really struggle with journaling every day, so we'll put that in their checklist. So it's really cool because it's like this one hub to host everything.
Yeah. It seems super simple. Like
it is.
Yeah.
And it's fun to look at because you can actually put your progress photos in there.
Right.
You can put your weight if that's something that you're tracking, which our program is completely tailored to the individual. So while you may be tracking macros and you may be weighing your actual body weight, I may be intuitive eating and not weighing.
Right.
You know, or maybe I'm just taking photos and I'm focusing on habits that I'm building versus this like really intense specific program.
Right. Well, that'll be really cool because it's 90 days. So you could always go back like at the end and look to like where you started.
And that's what's so fun. It tracks all of it and you get these like graphs and charts.
Okay. That's so awesome.
I love it.
I love that too.
Yeah. So that's probably the biggest change that we made. We made some changes within our community. So before I had my Revolvex worldwide community, and that is just my entry-level mentorship group. Yeah. So people join on for $14.99 a month and we do 2 live calls a month. And then I would have my Revolvex group, which is my premium coaching program, and they'd be separate calls. And what I was realizing is I was like, this is the same community.
Right.
Like I need all these people to one, meet each other because they're all awesome and they're all at different parts of their journey.
Right.
But 2, like we just need to have a space where we can have the one Evolve community.
Got it. Okay. So did you combine those? Okay.
Yeah. So I combined them. So now it's just the Revolvex community, and we have worldwide members, and they are the entry level members. So they get access to the community and to the live calls.
Awesome.
And then the premium coaching clients, they're in the full on 90-day intensive mentorship, training, coaching program. They're in it. They're like in a college course. Yeah. So it's like, you know, access to the community, and then it's like you're in a university course.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's cool. And we have our first joint call next Tuesday, which is going to be, February 8th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Awesome.
So if you guys want to join either community, we're open for both.
Perfect. And we'll have links below in the description so you can join whichever one you decide.
Yes. And throughout all of February, we're just going to take our time to identify our ideal clients and fill up that roster for Revolvex. Yeah. So if you're at all in February listening to this, it's probably not too late to apply. We do have a cap, but we are taking in every application to consideration. So get your application in if you're thinking about it.
Yes, definitely. Treat yourself this February.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Month of love.
I know it's hard when you first start to invest in yourself because you're like, oh my gosh, like this is a big investment. Is it going to be worth it? You know, am I being responsible with my money? All these like money questions come up.
Right.
And I know because, man, I have like struggled with money in my life. I have not struggled with money in my life. I've been everywhere in between. And so working through limiting beliefs with your money is a difficult process. I would actually recommend, it's funny you have her book on the table. Yeah. Jen Sincero. She has a book called You Were a Badass at Making Money. And I really recommend that book. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You didn't know this?
No, but she talks about how she was broke.
Yes.
And how her new habits helped her. Okay, next book.
That's literally, and I will go back and reread that book because it'll really help you open your mindset into an abundance mentality when it comes to money and finances. And also, like, the more that you invest in yourself, guys, and I can't wait for the next investment of myself, whether that be like body work and PT, right? And making sure I'm taking care of my physical body or my health, or it's my coaching and mentorship that I'm investing in for myself, because the more that you elevate your skills, your talents, your body, your health, your nutrition, the more your entire life elevates.
Absolutely.
And like, that's the key. People think like, oh, I can't spend money on this because, you know, it's too expensive or whatever. It's like, what is your evolved version of yourself worth?
Right.
It's worth everything.
I know. And even if it's like starting somewhere small, like people always say I can't afford healthy food. And it's like, but think about what you're doing to your body when like you're buying like the cheaper food. Like health is wealth, you know, like would you rather spend the money on the healthy food or spend the money at the doctor trying to fix the issue that you probably wouldn't have had if you were buying healthier food?
And that's what's crazy. I feel like we as a society, that's where we're at right now is we're at this, let's just go to the doctor and fix things versus like, why don't we just go back to the drawing board and start putting quality ingredients inside of our body.
100%.
Right.
It's just like shoving it under the rug almost.
Even think about, so we're talking about like financial investment, health investment, even think about the investment of time to do breath work or meditation or prayer or spending time with God. Yeah. Right. People, it's why are we in this world where like we resist the thing that we need the most?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because when you are doing those things and you think about the people that aren't, you're just like, it would be so beneficial for them. Yeah. Like, you just like want to shake people. And like, I am kind of newer to what you just explained, like just being more in the moment and doing the breath work. And so I can see how much it's helped me and changed my life. And I'm just like, I wish more people did this.
Yeah. Well, even think about, I think about times when I'm really good on like my morning routine where the number one thing for my morning routine is actually just time with God. And that can look a bunch of different ways, but like I do not skip that. Yeah. And the other day I had a photo shoot till like 2 a.m. in the morning and my sleep was all off. My schedule was all off. I had, appointments and so many things I had to get to that I skipped that. End of the day, I'm like crying. Oh no. Not saying that it's directly related, but it is. Yeah. No, but it's like, I looked back on the day and I was like, interesting. I skipped that time for myself, you know, that I needed. So yeah, I think no matter what investment you're looking at, whether it's like time and prayer or food or finances, when you're investing in yourself to be the best version of you, oh my gosh, it's the best thing you could do.
Absolutely. And not just for yourself, but your family and the people around you. Like they're going to get a better mom, a better sister, a better wife. Like you really have to take time for yourself. And she talks about that in this book, which we're going to go over some of the habits in a minute, but she talks about boundaries and things like that. All kind of correlate to what we talked about.
Let's get into that.
Okay, so
share the book. Why did you want to talk about it?
So the book is Badass Habits by the badass herself, Jen Sincero. She's awesome. She wrote You Are a Badass. If you haven't read that, I highly recommend it. So we're going to talk about some of the habits or some of the tips that she goes over in the book. So the top 3, we're going to start out with, she says to embrace a new habit as a new and valuable part of our identity. So when it comes to matching your identity to the habits you want to form or free yourself from, you're going to want to start noticing these specifics of how you're behaving now so you can change anything that's not like in alignment to where you want to go and like where you're heading. So that one, reading this, I was like, oh, okay, wow. Like I was trying to wrap my head around that one. She says to kind of envision yourself as the person that you want to be and then just kind of like act as if you already are that person or do the things that person would do. So for me, like one of the habits I wanted to get into was just making sure that my kitchen was like super clean the night before. Like every night, just kind of do little things to tidy up so that I could wake up and have like my clean kitchen. And so nobody, loves to do the dishes and like wipe down the countertops, but I want to be that person. And so in order to be that person, you have to do those things. So you have to like kind of have this like new identity, if that like makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of like saying, I am the person that cleans before I go to bed.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So attaching your identity to who you want to be, the habit that you want to cultivate.
Yes.
And I do a similar exercise with my clients. I always tell them like, just imagine the highest version of you. What is that person doing? Does your person, and I have them like correlate what they're currently doing with that highest version. Like, does your highest self really do that?
Right. Yeah. Like, does it match up?
Yeah. And then it's like you said, it's just practicing those actions that person would do, even if right now it doesn't feel comfortable and you don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is people don't realize change is actually really hard. Because it is uncomfortable. And it requires you going against the grain of what you're normally usually doing.
Yes, absolutely. And then you kind of like have to trick yourself sort of, because your old self's like, wait, that's not who we are. That's not who we are. But you're like, no, this is who I want to be. This is my new self. So you got to kind of like shut that off.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important. And something that it's an example I always bring up, but for example, if a vegan goes to a barbecue, they're not going to be like, oh man, I gave in to the meat.
Right.
They say, I am a vegan, therefore I do not eat meat.
Exactly.
And now they don't have to rely on willpower, even if it does smell good to them.
Right.
You know, which half of them are puking as I even say that. And then the other half are, it's more of a choice, right?
Right.
But it's like, because they have identified that that's who they are, they don't have to rely on willpower. And I think, you know, yes, you can absolutely grow in your strength of willpower, but guys, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Right. Like don't put yourself in situations where you have to rely on willpower.
Right. Exactly. That's who they are. They're not a person that eats meat. So I'm going to bring my own food or something like that. So you just have to identify yourself as a person that does whatever it is that you're trying to start doing or quit doing.
Yeah. And here's the thing I would say with that is, you know, one thing why I love taking clients through like my 90-day program is it literally gives them an excuse to their friends, to their family. Like, oh, I'm on this 90-day program. Yes. You should see my coach, Emily, you know, my coach, Hannah, my coach, Amanda.
Oh God.
Right. So they can like blame it on me or on the program so that those conversations become easier, because I know not everybody feels comfortable setting boundaries or having those hard conversations. Right. So I think when you're following a program, whether it's my Revolvex program or one that you've joined or 75 Hard, there's a lot of people that do that listen to the show. It's really easy to be like, oh, sorry, man, I'm on 75 Hard. Yeah. And what that does is when you're going through the program, 75 days, 90 days, whatever it is, you are having those conversations over and over and over again. You're building that confidence. Right. And now the 75 Hard is over. The 90 days of excellence is over. And you're like, sorry, I just don't do that. Yeah. Like you feel confident in the fact that like, no, this is who I am. And it feels amazing.
Yes. Yes. So I imagine that feeling of like getting through the 90 days or the 75 Hard, and then now it's who you are. Yeah. It's just like, incredible.
And then you just feel so much more confident to relay that to other people, because you have like proof in the pudding, so to speak. Exactly. Everybody's noticing how much happier you are, how you're in better shape, how your mindset seems better. Your mental health is the best that it's ever been. Yeah. Right. So when you have that proof in the pudding for yourself, but also for other people, they can't say anything back to you. Right. They're like these little crabs in the bucket that are trying to like tear you down. Like, no, come back and get wasted with us and do all these things that make you not your best.
Like, no, sorry.
You're like, you can just
get off. Yeah. That's so funny. Well, you mentioned boundaries, and that's actually tip number 2. So she talks a lot about setting healthy boundaries and how it kind of lays the groundwork for all of your habits. And I know that sometimes people think that setting boundaries can be mean or bad or something like that, but they're actually kind of like, I feel like it's like self-love when you're drawing the line and you're saying like, this is what I'm willing to accept, and I will not accept this. So she talks about that. And a good example that she gave was, like say you're a mom and you need your 20 minutes of reading every night. So you tell your family like, hey, at this time at 7:00 every night, I'm going to be reading for 20 minutes. I do not want to knock on my door unless the house is burning down, you know? So you're letting them know in advance that mom's going to be reading at 7 and I can't talk to her for 20 minutes because she's reading and she needs that time, or whatever it is, taking a bath or whatever it is, meditating. So she talks about setting boundaries, healthy, good boundaries.
I can imagine being a parent with like my person, you know, that I meet and marry one day, just being like, yeah, mommy and daddy have meditation from 7 to 8 p.m. Do not come near the store.
Really don't come near the door.
Padlocks. Sorry, that's where my mind goes. As a parent, I can't even imagine. Like I would definitely like, yeah, it's a podcast studio, but it's also sound insulated. Right. Sorry, I had to go there.
I love that. No, I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do, right?
I can't even imagine.
I'm here for
Okay, so I'm just going to put them on the spot. My parents moved out, which is kind of funny to say. Yeah. I guess everyone that was left in the house moved out. So my parents now have their own spot. And they just kind of like briefly mentioned that it's the first time that they have not had human children in their house in 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I don't want to know anything else because you're my parents, but I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Can you imagine?
No, they're probably kind of like, I just imagine they're like all alone and then they're like, well, okay, what do we do now? And then it's like,
okay, yeah, that's where that conversation ends.
Just kidding.
No, yeah, totally. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Bless you parents.
Yeah.
All the parents listening with children, bless you guys.
Yeah, seriously. You guys are rock stars.
So boundaries. Have you had experience with setting boundaries, and how have you worked through, like you mentioned, sometimes it feels mean. I don't relate to that. I don't feel mean.
Yeah.
But what about you? Like, have you experienced that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to be rude? And if so, like, how did you work through that?
I am getting much better at it because I know that it's really good for me to set boundaries. And I am going to have a discussion with my boyfriend. We live together and we're going to have to set some boundaries. And I've already got my lingo worked out to where it's, you know, it's very open communication and it's coming from a place of love. But, you know, there are certain things that I feel would help us both. And I think, you know, having those boundaries is going to be extremely beneficial for both of us. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm getting better at and getting more comfortable with doing. And the way that she explains it, that it's like an act of self-love, like I love that. I love how she worded that. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking as I'm preparing to have that conversation.
Yeah. And also it's self-love, it's self-respect, it's honoring yourself.
Yes.
I agree. I think it's the most loving thing you can do is to set those boundaries, set your intentions, and to invite others to meet you there.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's what you can go into that conversation, you know, with that mindset of like, hey, like I want to invite you to like meet me where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then be like, hey, like, can you express to me what you need?
Yes.
You know, what are some boundaries that you would like to have, you know, and being able to be that like willing teammate and willing partner, I think is really beautiful. So
yeah. That's my goal is to have. Yes. Okay. So the third tip is, she says to focus your attention on the desires fueling the habit, not on the habit itself. So kind of what I gathered from that is, like, let's say you're wanting to be healthier, and that's going to require you to maybe add in some cardio, which not a lot of people really enjoy doing. So instead of like focusing on the fact that you have to do, you know, 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, focus on what that habit is doing for you instead of like focusing on every single step that you're taking. Just in your mind, focus like, this is making me healthier. This is good for my heart. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to feel better. So focusing on what's fueling your desire to change and not so much on the action that you have to take to get the change.
That's huge. I think your self-talk is everything. And if you are on the Stairmaster, just like, I hate this. This sucks. It's so hard. Why did you have to get so out of shape? Why do you feel fat? You know, why did you eat all this stuff? Or whatever it is, whatever self-talk you're having, which we've all been there, changing that to every step is making you healthier. Yeah. You know, every drop of sweat is making you a better version of you. I'm so proud of you. And like just having those affirmations. So maybe it would be a good idea for people to write down affirmations that are associated with the action and the change that they're trying to create in their life.
That. Yeah, I love that.
That way, when you get into those hard spots, you can become self-aware. Because I think the hard part is most people are not aware to their self-talk.
Exactly.
They just live in it and accept it. And they don't realize that that's what's making them fail.
Yes. And that is actually one of the habits that I'm working on, is changing my thoughts and not allowing negative thoughts. And so it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about decades of negative self-talk or limiting beliefs or thinking, I can't do that. I mean, all these people are doing it, but for some reason I'm special and I can't, you know, like you're not special. Okay. So yeah, she talks about being self-aware and how that is vital to creating new habits and ditching the bad ones. So
yeah. And I think because when you're self-aware, then you have the opportunity to choose a different action.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I read this. It was something, I think it was a video I watched on Instagram, but it was this doctor speaking about what's happening in your brain when you are trying to change a habit. And a lot of the times if people are trying to change a habit, let's say that they're trying to stop snacking, right? and stop mindless snacking. And they find themselves like they're just mindlessly snacking and they're like, crap, they're like, I'm failing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not changing this habit. And he was saying that it actually is still impactful and it still works if the second that you realize that you're doing that habit, you take immediate action on the habit you would like to be doing.
Wow.
So maybe instead of mindlessly snacking, you actually want to read more, or you want to have an intentional healthy snack, right, of the foods that you know you should be eating,
Right.
or maybe you want to walk more with your dogs. So it's like as soon as you realize, okay, I'm just eating random snacks, you stop and you immediately get into action with the thing that you want to be doing.
Okay.
And you just practice that over and over and over again. And like the idea is that you're rewiring your brain, even though that bad, quote unquote, bad habit still happened.
Yeah.
You're rewiring it to like, this is what I want it to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because a lot of people will just count themselves out of the game. They're like, man, I failed. And then
right.
they just eat all
And
the
throw in the
snacks
towel.
and throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And they're back to ground zero.
Right.
But it's like, if you will just immediately do what you had intended to do,
Right.
it actually will help you to change that habit.
I could totally see how that would work.
Also, I wish that I had the book up here. I totally forgot to get it, but there's this book, very on brand for me, called Evolve Your Brain.
Oh, yeah.
And it's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I'm not joking, guys. The first page and a half, I was hooked. And it was like telling everyone they need to get the book.
Yeah.
But it like gives the scientific approach to everything that I teach, like in my programs.
Yeah.
And because he studies the brain, right? And he studies the chemistry and what's happening inside of your body when you think a singular thought.
I mean,
like he was talking about your hormones changing, like your spleen, your liver, your blood circulation, like all these things that happen when you think one thought.
that's insane.
And how it can like physically change your chemistry inside of your body and how powerful that is.
Yeah.
So like imagine you thinking negativity 24/7.
Right.
What do you think that's going to create in your body?
I mean, I've been there.
Illness,
I mean,
disease.
Yes.
It's crazy.
It is mind blowing the things that you can change when you change your thoughts. Like it's absolutely incredible. Like I've been working on this now for a month, and I, you know, like in our or our Tuesday meetings with the girls, it's like every meeting I'm like, I feel great because I do, because I genuinely, when I start to have those negative thoughts, I'm like, nope, out of here. Like, and I literally, I feel so much better. And it's only been a month. So I'm like, I can't wait to see like 6 months, you know? And cause I feel like my life has changed from fixing the thoughts.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He also shares a story in the book how he had this injury in in an Ironman, I think it was. One of those races, and basically a huge back injury. They were like, you have to have surgery or you're going to be paralyzed.
Oh my God.
But within the surgery, you know, X, Y, and Z might happen and whatever. Long story short, he was just like, this is not the right route for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, they said he wouldn't be able to walk. He would be paralyzed to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But he had realized the power of thought. And so he told himself every single day that he was healing. He was like, I am healing. I am healed. He meditated on it. He focused on it. He did breath work. He, you know, saw different like physical therapists and healers that believed the same things that he believed. And he literally healed himself into being able to walk and run and do all these things again that they said he would never be able to do. And he also studies these different cases of people that had these quote unquote miraculous healings.
Yeah.
And there were a few things in common with all of them. And one of them is the belief that we have the power within. Like there's a literal creative force, power of force inside of us that can cause healing, that can cause life. Right. And I believe that. And
I do too.
I think there's people that they try to put everything in a box about like their beliefs or like religion and this and that. And I'm like, take all the boxes away, take all the ceilings off, stop trying to categorize it so that your human brain understands it a little bit better, and have an open mindset about this. Like I really do believe that we have this energy inside. We have, and you can label it whatever makes sense to your brain.
Right.
You know, label it created in the image of God, label it universe, source, energy, whatever you want to believe. I have my own beliefs and I'm open about those, you know, but I just want to say this in a way that everyone understands, regardless of how you label it, we have that inside. And inside of that is life and power and healing and all of these things. And so I think what's happening, you know, is people are becoming more aware to how they can tap into that.
Yeah.
And when you start to do that, you start to realize that life is abundant, it's expansive, and it can be better than you've ever known it. And we actually don't have to submit to illness,
right.
to disease, to addiction, to these real things. You know, these are real things and real struggles, but your mind has a lot to do with what kind of path you go further down.
Absolutely. It's very powerful. Your mind. It's very, very powerful. So
yeah. Okay. 3 tips. So those were 3 tips. Do we have anything else?
Yes. So you are actually going to be releasing a little fitness bundle that you're doing with a bunch of other fitness gurus or coaches.
Watch your words.
This is the better word. So this will be a good time for you to tell everybody about that, because that's releasing next week on February 11th.
Yes. So my OGs, they remember a few years ago, I did this like fitness collab bundle.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you remember too? Okay, cool. And in that, it's kind of like everybody who is a coach or some sort of like, it could be a coach, a nutritionist, a yogi, all these different areas of health and fitness and mindset. We all contribute an ebook that we have, a program, some sort of like downloadable, tangible program, coaching, advice, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we contribute all of it into this fitness bundle, and we give it at this like ridiculous price.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. And we sell it for like a week. So basically it's, you know, there's over 40 products all related to workouts, health, strength, nutrition, delicious, healthy food, and so much more. I'll read a few of these topics so people can see.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's the EMOM guide for those that like CrossFit style stuff.
Love EMOMs.
6-pack ab ebook, body weight and ball exercise program, build your plate. That looks like nutrition, balanced day of healthy eating, fitness program, 4-week muscle building program, which is mine. Shout out to my program. Yes. Let's see. There's food to fuel, guide to fearless headstand, glute goddess ebook.
Okay.
That one sounds cool. Ignition to ebook, body with baby. So for those that are pregnant, let's see, 6-week bridal prep program.
Oh, okay.
There's a plant-based nutritional guide.
Nice.
There's also a 14-day plant-based meal plan. There's healthy eating. So tons of nutrition, tons of workout. There's another program called Bootylicious. I think that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's a ton of workout programs and nutrition programs, different coaching programs. And in total, if you were to buy all of these programs separately, it would be $1,820, but we're selling it for only $97. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. And it's cool because like us influencers, we get to come together and like offer this incredible thing, and we get to download it too, which is really exciting.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm like, I can't wait to like go through all these programs, you know, kind of expand what I learn. And even if you're a coach that's listening to this, it's really cool to just see what other coaches and people are doing and kind of learn from them as well. You know?
Right. And then you could always, if let's say you have a client that you don't feel like you can help for that specific reason, you have somebody to refer them to. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, and it's so basically it's a 93 to 95% discount. And so this
basically
lasts
free.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to last for 9 days from February 11th to February 19th. So I wanted to give you guys like a good heads up so you could listen, hear about it, and then, you know, make sure that you're available to purchase between the 11th and the 19th.
Awesome. And we'll include the links for that.
Yeah, that'll be down below. And once you purchase it, you'll receive a list with the downloadable files and access links to all programs and guides. So definitely don't miss out on that because, I mean, I had so many people write me and they were like, is this real? Like, this is way too good to be true. And I was like, no, like you get access to everything. Yeah. Just download it and then it's yours forever.
Yeah, that is so cool. And we're, you know, it's the month of February. It's the month of love, you guys. So treat yourself to something that's going to just do your mind right, do your body right. And this sounds like it has all of that kind of combined. So
exactly. And if you're looking to create these new healthy habits, maybe you need like a spark of an idea with your nutrition program, right? To like change things around a little bit. Go through and read about all these different nutritional ways, and just even looking at different meal plans from different people, you can gain inspiration to kind of build your own.
Yes.
You know, so you don't even have to follow this exactly, but like take the ideas and make your own great program that you'll be excited to follow.
Exactly. And that's what it's about. Like you have to look forward to it, you know?
Yeah. And I know how exciting it is to like start a new program. So
it is. It's so exciting.
Yeah. And even, you know, there's so many workout programs in here too. So even if you just steal one of my leg days, steal someone else's shoulder day, you know, and like create your own, I think it would be really cool for sure. So don't miss out on that, guys. The links will be down below.
How fun. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to steal that booty workout. from
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna steal
should.
that.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything else that we had for today?
I don't think so. I think we kind of covered everything that we wanted to talk about.
Okay, well, then last thing I want to say is for the podcast, you guys, we are at, do we have the reviews on here? Oh, I can't pull it up right now. We need you guys to write a review. If you enjoy the Evolve with Emily show, if you have listened to 1,000,000 episodes and you've never written a review, I'm calling you out. I need you guys to write reviews.
Yes, just do it.
Yeah, it really helps. So if you guys feel like this podcast has helped you at all, you've gained inspiration, it has changed some part of your life based on the action that you took, do me a favor. It can take literally 30 seconds or less. Just rate it, write a nice little comment, write some truthful feedback. If you want to give us like feedback on there, that would be so helpful and it would help the show grow.
Yes, please do that.
How about the Instagram? They need to follow the Instagram.
Oh, yes. You need to go follow. What are you guys doing? You don't follow the IG page, Evolve with Emily.
Exactly. And it's funny because the IG page doesn't represent the amount of listeners that we have, like literally at all.
I know, guys. Help us kind of grow a little bit there if you could. Share our reels or, you know, the YouTube videos or the episodes, whatever you want to share. Just share it and tag us and we will repost. We'll shout you out. Of course. And yeah, we would appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's at Evolve with Emily podcast on Instagram. The link's down below. Link is always there. So that should be it for now, guys. Don't forget to check the description box for all the links that we talked about throughout the whole episode. We discussed a lot.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
And let us know what you thought about this podcast.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
So much more enjoyable, to be honest.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.